In the heart of a forgotten kingdom, a forbidden love begins to bloom amidst betrayal and shadows. Princess Alara, betrothed to a ruthless lord, finds solace in the whispers of a mysterious stranger, Eric. As their destinies entwine, the echoes of loyalty and treachery threaten to tear them apart forever. Princess Alara stood on the balcony looking out over her kingdom, her heart heavy with the weight of an impending marriage. The moonlight bathed her in silver, illuminating the tears that glistened in her eyes. She longed for freedom, for a love that would never be hers, until a soft voice broke the silence. Eric, a wandering minstrel with a heart full of secrets, sang sweet melodies under her window, unaware of the princess's gaze. His voice, smooth as silk, carried tales of distant lands and forbidden dreams. Each note seemed to wrap around Alara's heart, pulling her closer to him, igniting a spark of hope. Alara's heart raced as she listened to his song, feeling a connection that transcended the walls of her royal life. Each word whispered promises of adventure and love. She had never felt so alive, trapped within the gilded cage of her future, longing for the taste of freedom and true affection. Days turned into weeks, and Alara found herself drawn to the minstrel, sneaking glances during royal gatherings. Every time their eyes met, the world around her faded, and her heart whispered secrets she dared not speak. But the looming threat of betrayal loomed larger as her betrothed grew suspicious. Lord Cedric, the ruthless betrothed, had ears everywhere, and whispers of Elara's affection for the minstrel reached him. Anger consumed him as he plotted to keep Elara under his control, unaware that the love shared in secret was blossoming into something unbreakable, something that destiny had forged against all odds. One fateful night, Elara and Eric met under the ancient willow tree, a place where time stood still. The whispers of the leaves echoed their shared secrets, and in that moment, they knew their love could conquer anything. But the shadows of their past loomed, threatening to tear them apart before their journey could even begin. As they exchanged vows of secrecy and love, the sound of hooves echoed in the distance, heralding Lord Cedric's arrival. Panic surged through Alara as she realized they were running out of time. With a heavy heart, she knew they must make a choice: to fight for their love or to sacrifice it for safety. Determined, Elara took Arik's hand, whispering words of courage as they fled into the night. The stars twinkled above them, a reminder of the destiny that awaited. They raced through the forest, heartbeats pounding in unison, ready to face whatever trials lay ahead, believing love would guide their path. But fate had a cruel sense of humor. As they reached the edge of the kingdom, Cedric's guards intercepted them, swords drawn and hearts cold. The lovers stood back to back, ready to fight for their love, but the weight of betrayal hung heavy in the air, threatening their resolve. In that moment, Elara called upon the power of her ancestors, invoking the strength of the enchantments that flowed through her blood. With a shimmer of light emanating from her heart, she declared her love for Eric, binding their fates together in defiance of the darkness that threatened to consume them. The guards hesitated, confusion washing over their faces as they witnessed the fierce determination in Alara's eyes. With courage born from love, Eric stepped forward, raising his sword against Cedric's men, ready to protect what was rightfully his. Together, they stood united against the tide of betrayal. As the clash of steel rang through the night, a fierce battle erupted. Alara's heart raced, not from fear, but from the fierce love that propelled her. She fought valiantly, every swing of her blade echoing her determination to protect her destiny, a future intertwined with Eric's. But Cedric, fueled by rage and betrayal, confronted them at the heart of the battle. His eyes, once filled with charm, now burned with fury as he declared that no one would take Elara from him. The stakes had never been higher, and the outcome hinged on a single moment of choice. In a desperate bid, Elara stepped forward, her voice steady despite the chaos surrounding them. She declared her choice. Her heart belonged to Eric, and nothing would change that. The declaration reverberated through the air, echoing the strength of love against all odds. Cedric's laughter echoed darkly as he swung his sword, intent on reclaiming what he believed was his. But in that split second, time slowed, and love and betrayal collided, creating a moment that would change their fates forever. It was a dance of destiny and defiance. The clash of their swords rang out like thunder, echoing through the forest as Eric parried Cedric's fierce attack. Each strike was fueled by love and the desire for freedom, a battle not just for survival, but for the right to choose their own destiny. Hope flickered even in the darkest moments. As the battle raged on, Elara felt her power surge, a connection to her ancestors guiding her. She joined the fight, her movements graceful yet fierce, embodying the spirit of those who had fought before her. Together, they were unstoppable, bound by love and destiny. The tide began to turn as the trio of love, courage, and fate united against Cedric's vicious assault. One final clash echoed as Elara saw a chance, her heart urging her to seize it. In a moment of clarity, she aimed for Cedric's sword, determined to end the cycle of betrayal. The impact was electrifying, and in that moment, the power of love and destiny surged through Elara, driving Cedric back. As he stumbled, rage and disbelief mingled on his face. Love had conquered betrayal, and freedom was within reach, but only at a great cost. With Cedric momentarily distracted, Eric seized the opportunity, driving his sword forward. But as destiny wove its intricate patterns, he hesitated, remembering that life and love are not just about victory. In that split second, he chose mercy over vengeance, a pivotal moment that would define their fates. Cedric, realizing his own downfall, laughed bitterly, proclaiming that their victory would be short-lived. With a final act of defiance, he turned to flee, vowing revenge. But Elara and Eric stood firm, knowing that they had finally broken the cycle of betrayal and forged their own destiny. As dawn broke over the horizon, painting the world in warm hues, Elara and Eric embraced, their hearts beating as one. The battle had tested them, but love had triumphed over darkness. Standing under the sun's first light, they knew they would face whatever came next together, forever entwined in destiny's embrace. In the end, love proved to be the most powerful force of all. Elara and Eric's journey was just beginning, a testament to the strength found in unity and trust. As they walked forward into their future, hand in hand, the shadows behind them faded, leaving only the whispers of love. As twilight descended, Elara felt the weight of uncertainty creeping into her heart. The enchanted forest, once a sanctuary, now loomed ominously, shadows whispering secrets of betrayal. She clutched Eric's hand tighter, yearning for the solace of his presence amidst the growing darkness. Eric sensed her unease, his heart echoing her fears. Despite their bond, he couldn't shake the feeling that unseen forces conspired against them. The ancient trees seemed to whisper warnings, and Eric vowed to unearth the truth, no matter the cost. Determined to confront the shadows, Elara suggested they visit the Oracle, a wise figure who held the secrets of fate. The journey would be perilous, but they needed clarity to navigate the treacherous waters of betrayal threatening to engulf them. As they ventured deeper into the forest, Elara recounted the tales of the Oracle. Legends spoke of her power to unveil hidden truths, but the price for knowledge could be steep. Would they be ready to face what lay ahead, even if it shattered their world? Upon reaching the Oracle's cave, they were greeted by an otherworldly glow. The Oracle, cloaked in shimmering fabrics, beckoned them closer. With a voice like the rustling leaves, she whispered, "The heart knows what the mind fears to confront." Elara stepped forward, her heart racing. "What do we need to know?" The Oracle's gaze pierced through her, revealing shadows of doubt and betrayal that clouded their future. She hesitated, sensing the gravity of the truth they sought. With a mystical gesture, the Oracle summoned images of their past, Moments filled with love and laughter, but also flickers of betrayal that threatened to unravel their bond. Your hearts must be unified. Only then can you withstand the trials ahead, she warned. As they absorbed the oracle's words, Eric felt a surge of determination. They had faced the tumult of emotions before, but this was different. The stakes were higher, and betrayal was a poison that could easily seep into their hearts. Leaving the oracle's cave, the air was thick with unspoken fears. Ilara turned to Eric, her voice trembling. What if we can't overcome this? What if the shadows consume us? Her vulnerability pulled at his heartstrings, igniting a fierce resolve within him. We will not let that happen, Eric vowed, gripping her shoulders with gentle strength. Together, we will confront every shadow that dares to threaten our love. His words ignited a flicker of hope within Ilara, encouraging her to believe in their bond. Determined to fortify their bond, they set off on a quest to find the Enchanted Rose, a legendary flower said to symbolize unwavering love. Only with its magic could they shield their hearts from betrayal's poison. As they journeyed, whispers of betrayal surrounded them. Rumors of a traitor within their village began to surface, feeding on Ilara's fears. Each rumor was like a thorn in her heart, reminding her of the fragility of their love. In their hearts, Ilara and Eric knew they had to confront this threat head-on. Gathering allies became their next step, seeking those who believed in their love and shared their desire to protect it. Together, they would stand against the shadows. As they built their alliance, Ilara felt the warmth of hope return. Each friend's vow to stand by them was a balm for her troubled heart. But deep down, doubts lingered. Could their love withstand the trials that lay ahead? As night fell, they gathered around a fire, sharing stories and strengthening their bonds. The warmth of camaraderie wrapped around them, yet Ilara couldn't shake the feeling that shadows were watching, waiting for their moment to strike. Just as laughter filled the air, a chilling wind swept through the clearing, extinguishing their fire. The sudden darkness felt like a portent, and Alara's heart raced as dread settled in her chest. The whispers grew louder, demanding their attention. From the shadows stepped a figure cloaked in darkness, a messenger of betrayal. The enchanted rose will not be given freely, they warned, their voice echoing like a distant storm. Only through sacrifice can you hope to attain it. Heart pounding, Ilara stepped forward, her voice steady. What must we sacrifice? The figure's smirk was chilling, hinting at the depths of darkness they would need to face. Only the truth of your hearts can lead you to the rose. With those words, the figure vanished into the night, leaving Ilara and Eric trembling with uncertainty. The weight of their choices loomed over them, as both knew that uncovering the truth would demand everything they held dear. Realizing they could not turn back now, Ilara and Eric vowed to uncover the truth, no matter the cost. Together, they would face the shadows threatening their love, united against betrayal, and ready to fight for their destiny. With their hearts intertwined, Ilara and Eric prepared for the trials to come. They had taken the first step toward their destiny, but the path ahead was fraught with peril. Would love be enough to light the way through the darkness? Only time would tell. As night descended upon the ancient forest, Ilara and Eric felt an ominous presence lurking in the shadows. The whispering wind seemed to carry secrets of betrayal, testing their resolve. With every rustle of leaves, their hearts raced, knowing that danger was closer than ever. Determined to uncover the source of the shadows, they ventured deeper into the heart of the forest. Ancient trees intertwined like the fates of their lives, standing witness to their love and the challenges they faced. Would the forest reveal its secrets or consume them whole? Suddenly, a low growl echoed through the air, sending shivers down their spines. From the shadows emerged a creature of nightmare, a guardian of the forest. Its fierce eyes glimmered with intelligence, hinting at the trials they must face to prove their love. Ilara stepped forward, her heart pounding yet resolute. We seek only to protect our love and destiny, she declared, her voice steady despite the fear creeping within. Would the guardian test their commitment or allow them passage into the depths of the forest? The creature paused, seemingly weighing their intentions. In that moment of silence, the air thickened with tension, as if the forest itself was holding its breath. Then, it spoke in a deep, resonant voice, demanding proof of their love's strength. "Show me your hearts," it growled, its eyes narrowing. Elara and Eric exchanged a glance, understanding the weight of the challenge before them. They had to reveal their deepest fears and vulnerabilities, risking everything for love's survival. With trembling hands, Elara confessed her fear of losing Eric to the shadows of betrayal. Tears glistened in her eyes as she spoke of the darkness that threatened to tear them apart. Eric listened, his heart aching for her pain. In response, Eric revealed his own fears, admitting that the betrayal of a trusted friend had shaken his faith in love. He spoke of the struggle to trust again, the weight of uncertainty clawing at his heart. Would their bond withstand such trials? The guardian listened intently, its fierce demeanor softening as it absorbed their revelations. It understood the pain that love could bring, and the strength it required to confront those fears. It seemed to ponder their worthiness. After a long pause, the guardian spoke again, this time with a hint of respect in its voice. "Your love is tested not only by shadows, but by your willingness to face those shadows together. You may pass if you prove your unity in the face of darkness." Elara and Eric felt a surge of hope as they stepped forward, ready to face whatever trials awaited them. The forest opened its path, guiding them deeper into the unknown, with the guardian watching closely over them. As they ventured deeper, the atmosphere shifted, the air thick with magic and foreboding. They stumbled upon an ancient ruin, overgrown with vines and flowers, a remnant of a time when love was revered above all. Among the rubble, a faded inscription caught Elara's eye, promising eternal love to those brave enough to seek it. She felt a connection to the past, realizing that their love mirrored those who had come before them. Eric placed his hand over Elara's, sensing the weight of the words. "We must be brave, just as they were. Let this be our vow. No matter the obstacles, we will face them together," he declared, his voice steady and filled with conviction. With renewed strength, Elara and Eric continued their journey, the bond between them growing stronger. But as they approached a shimmering portal, the atmosphere thickened again, a sense of foreboding surrounding them like a shroud. Gathering their courage, they stepped through the portal, finding themselves in a realm where light battled darkness. The ground trembled beneath their feet as shadows danced menacingly around them, testing their determination. In this realm, they encountered guardians of light and darkness, each vying for their allegiance. The guardians embodied their fears and hopes, offering them visions of what could be and what might slip through their fingers. Elara felt the pull of darkness, whispering sweet promises of power and revenge against those who betrayed them. It was intoxicating, but she remembered her vow to Eric, holding tighter to his hand as the shadows beckoned. Eric, too, felt the allure of the shadows, memories of betrayal flooding his mind. Yet, looking at Elara, he found strength in their shared resolve. He whispered, "We must choose love, not hate. Our destiny awaits, and it is brighter together." With their hearts united, they faced the guardians, ready to stand against the allure of darkness. A battle erupted around them, dances of light and shadow, clashing reflecting their inner turmoil and the stakes at hand. As the battle raged on, the couple fought not only against the guardians, but against their own fears. Each strike was a testament to their love and commitment as they began to understand that their destiny was forged in this very moment. Suddenly, a blinding flash of light enveloped them, and the guardians paused, sensing the change in the air. It was as if the essence of their love had ignited a spark that could challenge the very fabric of the realm. In that moment, Elara and Eric felt invincible, their hearts beating in synchrony. They fought with renewed vigor, channeling the power of their love into each movement. determined to overcome the darkness. Once and for all, with a final surge of energy, they unleashed a wave of light that swept through the realm, dispelling shadows and illuminating the path ahead. But even as the dark forces began to retreat, a new threat emerged from the depths. From the depths rose a figure cloaked in darkness, a manifestation of their deepest fears. It laughed a chilling sound that echoed through the realm, taunting them with memories of betrayal and loss. Alara and Eric stood firm, their resolve solidified in the face of this new foe. They knew this was the final test, the ultimate challenge to their love and commitment. Together, they would not falter, for their hearts guided them. The figure raised its hand, conjuring shadows that swirled around them, attempting to isolate their hearts from one another. But Elara and Eric held on tightly, determined to resist the darkness that sought to tear them apart. In that moment, Elara remembered the inscription from the ruins, the promise of eternal love. She called upon that memory, channeling the strength of those who came before them, empowering their bond against the approaching shadows. Eric, inspired by Alara's strength, recalled the vows they had made to each other. He shouted their commitment into the darkness, declaring their love as an unbreakable force that would conquer all obstacles. As they stood united, the shadows began to waver, unable to withstand the power of their love. Alara and Eric took a step forward, their hands still locked, ready to confront the dark figure together as true partners. The dark figure shrieked in anger, its form beginning to dissolve under the intensity of their love. But it wasn't enough to vanquish it completely. They still had to face one last trial to solidify their victory. A rift opened at their feet, revealing an abyss of their darkest fears. As they peered into it, the shadows of betrayal loomed larger, threatening to engulf their hearts. Would they dare to confront what they feared the most? With a shared glance of determination, they took a step closer to the edge, their hearts racing but resolute. They understood that to conquer their fears, they had to face them head on, together, without hesitation. As they peered into the abyss, visions of past betrayals flooded their minds. The pain, the heartache, the moments when trust was shattered. But they also saw each other, the love they fought for, igniting a spark of courage within them. Elara stepped closer, her voice steady as she spoke. We won't let our past define us. We are stronger than our fears. Together, we can conquer anything that comes our way. Eric nodded, fueled by her resolve. With a deep breath, they clasped hands tightly and took a bold step forward into the abyss, their hearts illuminated by the love that had guided them thus far. The shadows recoiled, sensing the power of their unity. As they plunged into the depths of their fears, the world around them shifted, and they found themselves standing in a vast, dark expanse. Here, their ultimate challenges awaited them, each one a reflection of their deepest insecurities. Before them materialized the darkest moments of betrayal, bringing to life the faces of those who had hurt them. But even in this place of pain, they held on to each other, standing stronger together than apart. Alara whispered, "These shadows cannot hold us. We control our narrative, not them." Her words resonated, a mantra echoing in the dark, filling them with courage as they prepared to confront their past. As Alara spoke, the shadows began to retreat, their grip weakening under the strength of her conviction. Eric joined her, his voice merging with hers, declaring their love as an indomitable force against all odds. With unwavering conviction, they faced the embodiment of betrayal, a swirling mass of shadows. Together, they unleashed the full force of their love, a brilliant light bursting forth, illuminating the darkness and pushing it back. The shadows screamed in fury as they were consumed by the radiant light, the couple's love proving to be the ultimate weapon. They felt the power of every vow, every promise they had ever made, surge through them like a tidal wave. Finally, as the last remnants of darkness fell away, Elara and Eric stood victorious, breathing heavily as the weight of their fears lifted. They had faced the shadows together, their bond unbreakable, their love triumphant. But as they turned to embrace, a new challenge emerged. A flicker of darkness still lingered in the corner of the realm, reminding them that shadows are never truly vanquished. The battle for their future was far from over. As they prepared to face this new threat, Ilara and Eric knew that their journey was just beginning. With love as their guiding light, they would continue to fight, learning that even in the shadows, hope and love can flourish. The air was thick with tension as Ilara and Eric ventured deeper into the enchanted forest, their hearts heavy with uncertainty. Dark whispers echoed around them, hinting at betrayal lurking among the trees. Every rustle of leaves brought a chill, reminding them that trust was a fragile thread in a world of shadows. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the shadows. Lyra, the village healer, known for her deep knowledge of ancient magic. Her eyes sparkled with secrets, but there was a lingering sadness that made Elara wary. What truths did she carry, and could they trust her after all that had transpired? Lyra spoke in hushed tones, revealing that a powerful dark force was growing stronger, threatening to consume their world. She urged them to seek out the forgotten ruins of an ancient temple, where they might find the key to their salvation. But the journey would be perilous, filled with trials that tested their love and resolve. As they set off towards the temple, Elara felt a knot in her stomach. Memories of betrayal haunted her, and doubt began to creep in. Could their love withstand the challenges that lay ahead? Eric, sensing her turmoil, took her hand, reassuring her that their bond was more powerful than any dark force. However, as they approached the temple, the ground trembled beneath them. The shadows danced maliciously, and from the depths emerged grotesque creatures born from the darkness, their eyes filled with malice. Elara and Eric stood their ground, hearts racing as the battle for their love commenced. With courage igniting their spirits, Elara wielded her magic, weaving light into a protective shield. Eric fought alongside her, his sword gleaming with determination. Together they pushed back against the encroaching darkness, each strike fueled by their love and shared destiny. Despite their efforts, the creatures seemed endless, swarming like locusts. Lyra's voice echoed in Elara's mind, urging her to tap into her deepest emotions. With a surge of love, she unleashed a blinding light that illuminated the forest, causing the creatures to recoil in fear. Yet, as the light faded, doubt crept back into Elara's heart. What if the darkness returned? What if their love was merely a fleeting moment against the vastness of betrayal that loomed over them? She glanced at Eric, seeking strength in his unwavering gaze. Eric sensed her fear and drew her closer, whispering promises of loyalty and devotion. He reminded her of the power of their love, a beacon even in the darkest of times. Together, they would forge their path, one step at a time, with courage fueling their every move. With renewed determination, they pressed on. Navigating the ancient ruins, each step felt like a journey through time, echoing the sacrifices made by those who came before them. As they reached the heart of the temple, an overwhelming energy pulsed through the air, invigorating their spirits. At the center of the temple lay an ornate pedestal holding a crystalline heart that pulsed with a soft glow. It was said to contain the essence of true love, capable of overcoming any darkness. But as they approached, a chilling laughter echoed through the chamber, freezing them in place. From the shadows emerged the dark sorceress, a figure cloaked in shadows and malice. Her voice dripped with venom as she revealed the truth about their quest. You think love can save you? It is but a fleeting illusion, easily shattered by betrayal. She cackled, her eyes gleaming with wicked delight. Elara felt her heart race, the sorceress's words striking deep within her. Was their love truly as fragile as she claimed? Eric stepped forward, defiance igniting within him. Love is a force stronger than any darkness. We will not let you take that from us, he shouted, voice ringing through the chamber. The sorceress sneered, raising her hands to summon dark magic, shadows swirling violently around her. Elara and Eric stood united, their hands clasped, channeling their love into a protective barrier. Together, they would confront this embodiment of betrayal and darkness, refusing to back down. With a fierce determination, Elara focused her magic, merging it with Eric's strength. The air crackled with energy as they unleashed a wave of light towards the sorceress. In that moment, love and power collided, creating a brilliant explosion that illuminated the entire temple. The dark sorceress screamed, her form being engulfed by the radiant light. As she was consumed by the power of their love, Elara and Eric realized that betrayal could be overcome, but only through unity and unwavering faith in one another. As the echoes of battle faded, Elara and Eric stood amidst the ruins, breathless and alive. The crystalline heart pulsed brilliantly in front of them, its glow now harmonizing with their own. They had faced their darkness together, proving that love transcends even the deepest betrayals. But just as they reached for the crystalline heart, a tremor shook the temple once more. The ground split, revealing a hidden passage leading deeper into the earth. A new challenge awaited, and they could sense the weight of destiny pulling them forward. Elara exchanged a glance with Eric, a mix of fear and excitement swirling within her. They had come so far, but what lay ahead remained uncertain. Whatever it is, we face it together, Eric reassured her, gripping her hand tighter as they prepared to descend into the unknown. As they descended into the depths, the air grew colder and the shadows thickened around them. Whispers of ancient spirits echoed softly, urging them onward. The walls shimmered with forgotten runes, tales of love and betrayal etched into their very stones, guiding their path. At last, they arrived in a vast cavern, the heart of the temple. In its center lay a pool of liquid light, shimmering with an otherworldly glow. Legends spoke of its power to reveal one's true destiny, but it was cloaked in shadows, waiting to be unveiled by those worthy of its secrets. Elara approached the pool, her heart racing with anticipation. She knelt down, bending her head over the shimmering surface. As she gazed into the depths, visions began to swirl before her. Glimpses of futures entwined with Eric, both beautiful and haunting. Could their love withstand the trials shown? Eric watched, concern etched on his face as Alara's expression shifted from joy to fear. The visions revealed moments of betrayal, darkness creeping into their love story. He stepped closer, placing a hand on her shoulder, grounding her amidst the uncertainty that threatened to engulf her. "What do you see?" he asked softly, his voice a lifeline amidst her fears. Elara took a deep breath, her voice trembling as she described the visions. Dark forces attempting to tear them apart, but also moments of love and triumph. In that moment, they realized their future was not set in stone. It was theirs to shape. With each word spoken, Elara felt the weight of their bond strengthen. Together, they could rewrite the narrative, transforming shadows into light. The visions were merely possibilities, and as long as they faced them together, their love could conquer all. Hope flickered in her heart once more. As they left the cavern, a sense of renewed purpose fueled their steps. The path ahead was fraught with danger, but they were no longer fearful of what was to come. United by their love and the lessons learned, they embraced the uncertainty, ready to face whatever awaited them. However, as they emerged from the underground, the air felt heavy with a new presence. A shadow loomed over the land, a darker force that threatened to shatter their world. The sun, once bright, seemed to dim as the spell of despair took hold, testing their resolve like never before. Elara turned to Eric, fear gnawing at her heart. "What if we can't stop it?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Eric cupped her face, his touch igniting a spark of hope. "We will find a way, Elara. Our love is stronger than any darkness. We are destined to face this together." With resolve etched in their hearts, they began to formulate a plan. Each would seek allies among the villages, gathering those willing to stand against the encroaching darkness. Their love sparked a movement, igniting flames of hope in the hearts of others who had long since given in to despair. As night fell, they traveled from village to village, sharing their story of love and courage. Alara's voice resonated through the night, touching the hearts of those who listened. With each tale shared, the shadows began to recede, revealing the strength found in unity. Days turned into weeks, and their movement gained momentum. Villagers who had once lived in fear began to rise, motivated by the couple's unwavering love. Together, they forged a coalition of brave souls, ready to stand against the dark presence threatening their realm. But the darkness would not go quietly. As they prepared for the battle ahead, shadows began to infiltrate their camp. It was a test of faith as fear seeped into the hearts of the warriors. Elara and Eric knew they must rally their spirits before doubt could take root. Standing before their assembled allies, Elara raised her voice, a beacon of strength amidst the encroaching darkness. We are more than just our fears. We are united by love, and together we will face whatever the night brings. Her words echoed, igniting a fire in their hearts once again. With renewed vigor, the warriors readied themselves for the battle of their lives. The night was filled with whispers of dread, but they stood firm, united under the banner of love. As the first light of dawn broke, they prepared to confront the darkness head-on, ready to reclaim their future. As they marched towards the heart of darkness, Alara and Eric held hands tightly, their hearts beating in sync. They felt the weight of every warrior behind them, each step echoing with the promise of change. Love would be their weapon, and together they would fight for their destiny. The battlefield awaited them, a stark contrast of light and shadow. As they approached, dark clouds swirled ominously, and the ground trembled beneath their feet. From the depths emerged the sorceress, her laughter echoing once more, taunting them with the memories of their past struggles. You think you can defeat me? The sorceress mocked, her voice dripping with disdain. You are just children playing at love. No power can save you now. But Alara stepped forward, the crystalline heart glowing at her side. She felt its warmth, a reminder of the love that brought them this far. Love is not a weakness, it is our greatest strength, Elara declared, her voice unwavering. She raised the heart high, channeling its energy into a blinding light. The warriors behind them felt the rush of power, inspired by her courage, ready to fight for their dreams. With a powerful surge of energy, the heart's light burst forth, illuminating the battlefield and dispelling the shadows. As the light expanded, it intertwined with the warriors' spirits, creating a barrier of love and hope against the darkness. They charged forward, united as one. Chaos erupted as light clashed with darkness, sounds of battle filling the air. Elara and Eric fought side by side, their movements synchronized, each strike a testament to their love. The crystalline heart pulsed alongside their hearts, guiding their every move as they faced the sorceress once more. The sorceress struggled against the wave of love that surged towards her. She unleashed dark magic, but it fizzled under the heart's radiant power. Desperation filled her eyes as she realized their bond was a force she could not comprehend or defeat. In an act of defiance, the sorceress unleashed her last spell, a desperate attempt to tear them apart. But as the shadows reached for Alara, Eric stepped forward, placing himself between her and the darkness. You will not take her, he shouted, his voice resonating with love. The power of Eric's love surged through him, merging with the crystalline heart. A brilliant light burst forth, enveloping them both, pushing back the shadows with overwhelming force. In that moment, they became one with their love, transcending the darkness that sought to divide them. The sorceress screamed as the light engulfed her, and with a final flash, she was consumed by the brilliance. The battlefield fell silent, the darkness lifted, revealing the dawn breaking above. Elara and Eric stood together, their hearts intertwined, victorious against the forces that sought to tear them apart. But as they looked around, they realized the battle was not yet over. Survivors emerged from the shadows, their expressions a mix of relief and uncertainty. Elara could feel the weight of their hopes resting on her shoulders. The journey to heal their realm had only just begun, and she knew they must lead with love. Elara and Eric exchanged a knowing glance, ready to embrace the challenges ahead. They would rebuild their realm, ensuring that love would always reign over darkness. With hands clasped, they stepped forward, united in purpose and unwavering in their belief that love could overcome any challenge. As they journeyed back to their village, Elara and Eric spoke of hope and unity. They envisioned a world where love would triumph, where betrayal could no longer take root. Their hearts were filled with a renewed purpose, and they knew their story was far from over. It was only just beginning. Upon returning, they gathered the villagers, sharing tales of their journey, how love had conquered darkness. They inspired others to believe in the strength of their hearts, planting the seeds of hope in every soul. The village began to heal, and the light of love spread like a wildfire, igniting a spirit of resilience. Yet, as the village flourished, whispers of a new darkness began to surface. Tales of a hidden force, biding its time, lurking in the shadows of the kingdom. Ilara and Eric felt the familiar weight of fear, but they also knew that together they could face anything that arose. As the sun set, they stood atop a hill overlooking their village, hand in hand. Elara spoke softly, reflecting on their journey so far. No matter what comes next, we have each other, and that is our greatest strength. Love will always find a way. Eric smiled, his heart filled with conviction. Days turned into weeks, and the village thrived under their guidance. Elara and Eric continued to teach the villagers about the power of love, building a community founded on trust and unity. Together, they fortified their defenses, preparing for any threat that might arise from the shadows. But just as hope bloomed, a chilling wind swept through the village. A dark figure was spotted on the outskirts, observing silently. The villagers began to whisper, fear creeping into their hearts once more. Ilara and Eric knew they had to confront this new threat head-on before despair could take root again. Determined, Ilara and Eric gathered their warriors, preparing for what lay ahead. We have faced darkness together before, and we will do so again, Eric proclaimed, his voice steady and reassuring. With each vow exchanged, the fire of unity ignited within them, ready to stand against whatever was coming. As they approached the figure, Elara's heart raced. They could see its features more clearly. It was a man clad in armor, his face obscured by a dark helmet. He raised his hand as if to signal them to stop, a voice echoing from within the shadows. I come with a warning, not to fight. Alara stepped forward cautiously. Who are you? She demanded, her voice steady despite her trepidation. The figure lowered his hand, revealing eyes filled with sorrow. I am Kale, a guardian of a greater threat. A darkness far beyond what you have faced before is coming, and I need your help to stop it. Elara exchanged a glance with Eric, uncertainty swirling within her. Yet the urgency in Kale's voice resonated with her. What darkness? She pressed, her heart pounding. Kale took a deep breath, explaining how an ancient evil was awakening, one that sought to consume all light, and only their united strength could stand against it. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Elara and Eric made a pact with Kale to confront this new evil. They would gather their allies once more, but this time, they would prepare for a battle unlike any they had faced before. Hope ignited in their hearts, determined to stand against the impending darkness. As they returned to the village, Alara felt a renewed sense of purpose. She knew that love had been their greatest weapon, and it would be again. With Kale by their side, they would forge a new alliance, one built on trust and shared strength, ready to face the darkness together. In the days that followed, Elara and Eric worked tirelessly to rally their allies. They shared tales of courage, of love that transcended shadows, inspiring those around them to join the fight. Kale trained the warriors in ancient arts, preparing them for what lay ahead, a battle that would test their very souls. As the day of the battle approached, Ilara felt the weight of their mission. It was not just about defeating darkness. It was about preserving the love and unity that had blossomed in their realm. They could not allow fear to take root, for together they were stronger than any shadow. On the eve of battle, Alara and Eric stood together under the stars, reflecting on their journey. No matter what happens tomorrow, I want you to know that my love for you is eternal, Eric whispered, his gaze unwavering. Elara smiled, feeling the warmth of his words wrapped around her like a protective shield. As dawn broke, the warriors gathered, hearts pounding with anticipation. Together, they marched towards the battlefield, united by love and purpose. With Ilara and Eric at the forefront, they felt the power of their resolve strengthen with each step, ready to face the darkness that threatened their world. As they entered the battlefield, the air crackled with tension. The dark forces stood waiting, a swirling mass of shadows and malice. From the depths of the shadows, an ominous figure emerged, an ancient being that radiated pure darkness, its eyes gleaming with an insatiable hunger for destruction. Elara and Eric exchanged a final glance, hearts beating in unison. They could feel the weight of every warrior behind them, every hope and dream resting on their shoulders. As the battle cry echoed through the air, they charged forward, love as their shield, united against the impending darkness. The battle had begun, and the outcome remained uncertain. But together, Alara and Eric would face whatever came their way, their love guiding them through the shadows. This was only the beginning of their journey, their hearts entwined in destiny, ready to challenge the darkness that lay ahead.